Welcome to Twale TV, Twale TV Sports. Welcome back. Straight into it tonight. First of all, I need to touch base on a couple of stuff. I was watching Leicester yesterday being beaten, and the fans then booed their team. Well, I have a piece of advice for Leicester fans, to be honest, really, even though, sometimes I do share fans' frustration. But for Leicester fans, watching their team being beaten by Liverpool and then booing the team, it's not the solution to your problem. You should have been booing your team from the last couple of years at least, because Leicester seems to have this approach, this modus operandi of cashing in on their key players. They've been doing it for the last few years and not replacing them, or not even getting the cash injection needed to keep the team above the normal parameter where they were before selling their key players. And it's come to bite them in the bum, really. I think the only reason they've been surviving the Premier League was because of Brendan Rodgers. So now that Rodgers left, they now seems to be exposed in a way that, maybe the fans got it confused, thinking, oh, they're not good enough. They are good enough. It's because of your style of operation. You don't just sell key players like Brighton have been doing. I said it yesterday that credit has to be given to the owners and the management at Brighton for doing the same thing and still remaining on top. If they have a key player that's wanted by a top club, they let them go. They cash in. And then they bring in another player. They bring in new managers. And they just get it right. Leicester haven't gotten it right. And it's the reason they've been fighting relegation. I think they could have been relegated from last season. They escaped because of the expertise of Brendan Rodgers, who is a key manager, a well-experienced Premier League manager. He's been keeping them afloat. Because he has left, don't put your blame on Dean Smith and John Terry, nor the team. It's the club. It's the way the club is being run. That's why you're fighting relegation. End of. So, Serge Aurier, my brother from Tottenham, who is now at Nottingham Forest, he's got a piece of advice for Daniel Levy. This is what Serge Aurier said. He said, please, leave Ryan Mason in charge. I trust him, and I believe he's the man that will turn Tottenham's fortune around. Serge Aurier definitely must have a hidden plan for Tottenham, really. I don't know how you can convince Daniel Levy to leave Ryan Mason in charge. It's a risk Daniel Levy will never take. It's a risk that's not worth taking. Arsenal took similar risk. It paid off. But that was because Arteta won FA Cup in his first few months. And if you're making such move in the Premier League, you have to weigh your pros and cons. You don't spend so much money. Look at Tottenham, one of the best stadiums in the world. If you're counting first, if you have to name best 3 stadiums in the world, Spurs would have to be mentioned. Their stadium would have to be mentioned. Best stadium in the Premier League, one of the best in Europe, not one of the best in Europe, and one of the best 3 in the world. So for Daniel Levy, having spent so much money, he's not going to leave Ryan Mason in charge. He's a very clever man. So Serge Aurier, I think you really don't like Tottenham, because if you do, you aren't going to be making such suggestions. So that's my view on that. Ryan Mason to take over Tottenham, it's no brainer. It's not worth it. This is a guy who's only worked with the under-23s or whatever, and then you want to bring him to take control of Tottenham? No. There's something called experience. Okay? Of course, Arteta didn't have the experience as a Premier League manager, but he's learned his trade under one of the best managers in the world. And he proved it that he's ready, that he's done his deals. And then, people can see now that Arsenal don't need to worry about the managerial issues. They have Arteta. He's a good guy. He's a top guy. He's proved his point with the squad he's got. He's fought this battle so well. And the battle is not over yet. Somebody was reminding me yesterday, he goes, why are you throwing in the towel? If you watch the last podcast, I said, well, Arsenal fans who have been throwing in the towel for a long time, I might as well join you. So I threw in the towel right in front of the camera. And the guy goes, why are you doing that? It's still possible. I said, yeah, it's still possible. Of course, it's still possible mathematically, but that will require Manchester City losing 2 games out of 3. Of course, it's possible. Can Chelsea beat them? Of course, it's possible. Can Brentford beat them at home? Of course, it's possible. So the possibilities are there, but as a true football fan, as a realist, you have to be realistic. The form City are at the moment, you can see they're going to crush Chelsea and they're going to grind the results one way or the other to win that title. But don't quote me, because if they do lose 2 out of 3, that will be historical. Anyway, that's that on that. Saido Mane, is he coming to Chelsea or is he not? Well, I'd love Saido to come to Chelsea. I said it. I'd love him to come to Chelsea. He's been confirmed more or less, directly or indirectly. Pochettino is Chelsea manager. Let's wait for the official confirmation before we, start to dance over that. But if Pochettino can get us Saido Mane, oh my, I would love it. I would throw a party. I said it. But let's wait and see. Pochettino coming, I've said it. The only thing he's bringing that is guaranteed is durability, stability. And from there, it can compete and then, put us in the frame again. I was listening to Brad Friedel, the legendary goalkeeper, saying, he can't see any weaknesses with Pochettino, that Pochettino taking over Chelsea is the best thing that can happen to Chelsea. He's got no weaknesses whatsoever. Mr. Brad Friedel, please keep your opinion to yourself. Pochettino has a massive weakness. I'm not going to start being pessimistic now, but Pochettino hasn't won nothing in the Premier League. It's a weakness. You don't get to so many finals and don't win something. That's a weakness. He doesn't know how to win finals. Okay? There is a way you play in finals. It's different. If you want to win a final, if you are going into a game of must win, there are approaches you make. Pochettino hasn't got the Mourinho's mentality of winning the final. He hasn't got the Mourinho's genius of winning the finals. So that's the weakness I see in him. So Mr. Brad Friedel, thank you for the opinion, for the advice. I don't buy into that. He's got a weakness. I hope that weakness doesn't reflect on Chelsea. I hope he wins something at Chelsea, because I believe what he's been missing is somewhere where he can be given the freedom with as many talents as he can get. And he loves developing young talents. We know that. And all we've got now are brilliant young talents from across the globe. So that's the only big advantage I can see with Pochettino and Chelsea. How he's going to develop all the key talents we've brought in from all over the world. So he's got weaknesses, but he's the best man right now for Chelsea. And let's hope, fingers crossed, how you cross it, that we get a good result out of this appointment. And then I'd love to touch base on AC Milan, Inter Milan, but we haven't got much time, apart from the fact that before the first leg, I could hear these so-called pundits, Rio Ferdinand and Saido, all saying, AC Milan are going to trash Inter Milan, they're going to win it. Because I don't know why you can't let your emotions drive you when you're calling a game. You have to act and talk like a pundit, like a commentator. The realistic point is that when you get into quarterfinal, semi-final, Champions League, it's anybody's game. You can't call it, no matter how clever you are. You can't call it. End of. And what happened? Inter whacked AC Milan. It could have been 6-7-0. It was only 2-0. They should be thankful that it was only 2-0. So let's go enjoy that. And then let's look forward tomorrow for the Man City Madrid. I can't wait. It's not over. And I'm suspecting Real Madrid might come to derail City again. I really don't want City to... I want them to derail Premier League, but not European. I really want them to win the European Cup, the European Championship, Champions League, because it's the missing jigsaw. And as a British team, I have to give them my full support. But I'm scared. I have to be honest. I am scared of Real Madrid. So let's wait and see. It's all about who gains the momentum from the beginning of the game, who scores first, and those key 2 things are going to be very crucial. Who keeps the momentum and who scores first are crucial in this type of game. Second legs, semi-final, Champions League. Let's enjoy that tomorrow. So everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for following. And the new subscribers, we love you. Keep doing it. Hasta la vista, baby.